Fans, Troy Prattley checking in with the Cougar Sports Network here with the first February edition of Coach's Weekly Women's Basketball. Coach, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Well, let's recap. You had an exciting week. Your team got a victory against Alverno this weekend. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we traveled up to Wisconsin, had a nice primetime game on Saturday night against Alverno, and got back in the win column, and just really happy for our group and our team to experience that win and do it just together as one.
For sure. Jaylene Wade had 20, and Allison McGregor had 16. She had a double-double, 16 rebounds, 16 points. She's been a steady player for you throughout her career here at Concordia. What did you see from those two players specifically in that win?
Yeah, first let's talk about Allie. She had that double-double, but she also had 3 assists to 2 turnovers, and then a few steals on top of that. So her consistent play has been just that since she started, but this year's really kind of been a little bit more breakout on the offensive end, and I know she's worked on some things in her bag of tricks that has really helped us get some post points and some points close to the basket. And then Jaylene, it was nice to see her score 20 and kind of run some point, kind of run some two-guard, but really get the ball in other people's hands, move the ball, swing it, so it gave other people opportunities to score as well.
Yeah, and do you find as the year goes on that you kind of get a little better feel of which players play well together or which lineups? How does that work as the year goes on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the last couple of games since Jaylene's been back, seeing Sydney and Missouri, Princess, Allie, Abby, they've really been playing together well. That's not to mention other people, but they've kind of been in that consistent mode the last couple of games where they're giving us some production, being positive on the assist portion, and then defending as well. So we really like what we're seeing from them, and that's leading the other people to work as hard as they can and be better as well.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this week now. You're going to play an Aurora team this coming Wednesday, but let's not talk about the game yet. Let's talk about this right here.
Oh,
the
yes.
7th National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. So what does that mean for your team to be able to celebrate this day specifically? We got these nice T-shirts we designed. I assume you'll be wearing one, eh?
Yeah, I think I can make an outfit support this matter for sure. I believe that one of our seniors helped design this shirt, so we'll go ahead and give a little shout out to Emily and then everybody else who contributed. What it means to us being a team full of women, and we got a few men on our coaching staff, but our men also are so supportive of what our women do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm a coach that tries to guide by empowering young women and knowing when we get here, and when I first meet them, they're typically 16 or 17 years old, so I know by the time we go through some of our journeys, and I'm a firm believer of everything you go through, whether it's negative or positive, is all supposed to happen in order for you to get to where you're supposed to go. So I think it's a positive way of looking at some of the hard things we do endure as women in sports, and just continuing to fight for equality and everything that means something to us. And you've seen the women's game just skyrocket in the past couple of years, and you kind of felt it coming. But now to see what's happening professionally and then trickling down to the college level and what it will do for our sport and for our young women, it just gives us a lot of confidence and a lot of things moving forward. Yeah.
That's awesome. So Aurora on Wednesday. This past weekend, your team shot the ball really well, 44% from the field, and that is about 10% better than your season average, say. So what do you got to do, take away from this weekend to carry that into Wednesday to be able to come out with a win?
One of our goals for the game in Alverno was to limit our three-point attempts, and I said 10 was the goal, and looking back at the game, it was exactly 10. I think we shot 30% from 3, and that really gave us higher percentage shots, and we've been trying to get the ball inside more and more because that inside-out ball really skyrockets your percentage. So that being said, on our end, that's something we need to continue to do, but facing a team who averages, I think, the most threes in the league, and everybody that shoots them is shooting a very high percentage. We got to defend the three-point line, limit attempts, and then just take care of the ball against their pressure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Cougar fans, come check it out here, 7 o'clock on Wednesday, February 7th in Geisman Memorial Gymnasium. For more information on the women's basketball team in Cougar Athletics, head to www.cucougars.com. Thanks, Coach, for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Come on out.
Yep, good luck Friday. Go.
Cougar fans, and welcome inside Geisman Gymnasium as we get set for this Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference matchup between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Spartans of Aurora University. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, and we got a good one in store for you tonight. Let's look at these two teams and what they've done recently before we get into the preview for tonight's game. First, for the Cougars, they're coming off a 61-42 win at Alverno College just past Saturday. That snapped an 11-game losing streak for the Cougars, their first win since December 6th, which, funny enough, was also against Alverno right here at CUC. And helping lead the way for the Cougars was Allison McGregor, 16 points and 16 rebounds for a monster double-double game, her third of the season. And that rebound number kind of indicative of the Cougars as a whole. The Cougars outscored Alverno in the paint 32-16. And McGregor, when you have 16 rebounds, that's going to do a lot for those paint points. See if CUC's rebounding leader in McGregor, who's also one of the best rebounders in the conference as a whole, can keep that going up against a tough Aurora team. But helping out the Cougars and making her home debut, or her home re-debut, if you will, is Jaylene Wade. Wade transferred back to CUC not that many weeks ago from Lewis University Division II program, and she's looking forward to getting back into a rhythm with the Cougars against Alverno. She led all scorers with 20 points as she is slowly working her way back into a full-time role in this Cougars lineup. Jaylene Wade, an all-conference level point guard for the Cougars in the past, and after about a little over a semester spent at Lewis, she's back here and making once again her home re-debut tonight against the Spartans. And the Cougars, they're going to need all the help they can get, whether it's from Wade, McGregor, or whoever else decides to step up tonight. Aurora coming in at fourth in the NAC right now. This is a very talented and a very deep team. They won their last game on Saturday, 64-54 against the Milwaukee School of Engineering. It was the senior day for the Spartans, so playing with a little bit of emotion as well as they look to secure a top 4 spot in the NAC tournament. They had 3 players score in double digits, an all-around effort for the Spartans, and help lead the way for them was Selena Vargas, a 10-10 rebound, 10 points and 10 rebounds, 10-10 double-double, I should say, for Vargas. She is arguably the best rebounder on a good Spartans team. So if CUC wants to win that battle in the paint, as I mentioned earlier, Vargas is going to be a major roadblock for CUC. And additionally, like I said, Aurora, this is just a very, very deep team. They outscored MSOE in bench points 30-11. This is a very large Aurora roster, and this is an Aurora roster that likes to use a lot of their players, but their go-to scorer has to be Gabrielle Wolf. She's averaging over 15 points a game, having a very, very good season for a very good team in the Spartans. Between her and Vargas, this is a very complete Aurora team, and CUC really does have their work cut out for them if they want to get their second win in a row. Now for a little bit of a history lesson between these two teams, Aurora and CUC, they've matched up 29 times in the past, and CUC actually has the all-time edge over the Spartans, 15 wins to Aurora's 14, just barely Aurora looking to tie that up tonight. But CUC, they have been on the wrong side of history as of late. The Spartans have won their past 4 games against the Cougars. CUC has not beaten Aurora since a 2020 game in Aurora. So CUC, between having to play a good Aurora team, hopefully getting their second win in a row, and hopefully beating the Spartans for the first time in quite a while, it's going to be a tough task ahead of the Cougars tonight. But how are they going to be able to do it? It's really about running the offense for CUC. You can tell with this CUC team in the second semester of play, since the injuries to names like Michaela Ellis and Kalia Reed and even Leela Scott, this is a team who has lacked direction at times offensively. So CUC having that all-star level point guard in Jaylene Wade back might be able to help organize this offense a little bit, get them in a groove, because they're going to need it again against, once again, a very good Aurora team. But we're going to have that game for you in just a couple minutes. We're going to send it down courtside for starting lineups and national anthems, and then we'll have opening tip between the Cougars and the Spartans. But before all of that, we have a very special message from President of Concordia University Chicago, Dr. Russell Dawn.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
We're about ready for tip-off here in Geisman Gymnasium as the Cougars taking on the Spartans. Let's get those starting lineups one more time for everybody watching at home. First for the visiting Spartans of Aurora University, it is number 2, Delaney Kosher, number 4, Macy Kosin, number 13, Selena Vargas, number 25, Elliot Dujek, and number 31, Gabrielle Wolf. Head coach of the Spartans is Ryan Rebson. Now for your starters for your Concordia University Chicago Cougars, it is the number 0, Missouri Wingham, number 30, Allison McGregor, number 31, Abby Kulig, number 32, Jaylene Wade, and number 55, Sydney Mitchell. And the head coach of the Cougars in her 6th season is Coach Lauren Martin. Thank you for tuning in to the Cougar Sports Network. Peter Borkowski joined by a little bit of a pinch hitting announcer for the night, Dave Dimeling. Looking forward to a good time as Abby Kulig wins the opening tip for the Cougars. Sydney Mitchell running point out of the gate, hands it off to Jaylene Wade. Jaylene Wade exchanges it with Missouri Wingham. Back to Sydney Mitchell. A lot of handoff action from the free throw line. No good. Rebound, Allison McGregor. Feeds Abby Kulig, able to clean up a drop pass, and now Jaylene Wade sets it up outside of the arc. Wade gets her players in motion. Initiating now, uses the screen by Kulig. Putting the moves on her defender through the baseline. That ball is almost knocked out of bounds. Saved. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Wingham puts something up. No good. Aurora gets going the other way.
Yeah, a great first defensive possession right there for Aurora.
Spartans able to curb a couple Cougar drives as they now work on the other end of the court. Pass all the way over to Gabrielle Wolf, the Spartans' leading scorer. Her 3 is no good. Rebound there by Allie McGregor.
Yeah, you're going to see that a lot on Allie McGregor. She's going to be cleaning up the glass all day long, especially when you pair her with number 31 as well. They're going to be dominating.
Coach Martin really likes to run out those two bigs, if you will, in McGregor and Kulig. Kulig, that shot falls out of bounds. Kulig, a 5'11" freshman, out of Carroll Stream, Illinois, while Allie McGregor listed as a 6-foot junior from Loves Park, Illinois. McGregor, as I mentioned, coming off a monster 16-16 double-double against Alverno. As the Spartans look to score the first points of the day, here is Wolf. Gabrielle Wolf sends up a floater and a couple lucky bounces, and Spartans up 2-0, less than 9 minutes to go here.
Just a nice soft touch there from Wolf, getting it done, getting the first points on the board right there.
Gabrielle Wolf, a 5'10" senior out of Greenfield, Wisconsin. Again, the leading scorer on the Spartan teams at over 15 points per game. She looks to have a big night to beat a Cougars team coming off their first win in almost 2 months. As here's McGregor down low, and she gets it to go.
There it is. Really good find right there. They're going to need to be doing that all night long.
Abby Kulig able to feed McGregor down low as Spartans need a response here. They find themselves tied 2-2. As driving to the rim and tied up by Jaylene Wade was Elliot Duyutrek. And now whistles blow. Aurora will retain possession.
Looks like the Cougars came out pretty sharp so far on the defensive side. You know, they're playing great team defense right now.
Well, this is an Aurora squad who's averaging over 75 points a game. They're holding opponents to just 65. So a high-scoring team and a low-scoring defense in the Spartans. And an off-balance shot is no good from Vargas. Missouri Wingham brings it up now for the Cougars. Wingham swings it over to Wade, who gets the calls from Coach Martin on the sideline. Wayne fights McGregor at the top of the key, who feeds it over to Wingham. Entrance pass is knocked out of bounds by Wolf. 231's going at it in the low post between Wolf and Abby Kulig. As the Cougars will inbound it now, Missouri Wingham finds Sydney Mitchell. Mitchell back over to Wade. Less than 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Jaylene Wade. That ball is tipped. Sydney Mitchell's right there. She sends up a long 3. No good. Did not hit the rim, so shot clock would have turned the ball over anyways, but Aurora just picks up the rebound. And Abby Kulig, great defense there, forces the travel on Gabrielle Wolf as Coach Rebson is wanting a call on Kulig. Won't get any love. Good defense there from Kulig, which, Dave, I think anyone who's watched number 31 in white over a freshman season knows that they're going to get a good defensive performance out of her day in and day out.
No doubt about it right there. I totally agree. But as we look down on the floor, it seems like they might be reversing the call.
It looks like they are. Aurora will instead get possession here.
It appears a couple shoulder shrugs from the Aurora bench did pan out and got the call reversed there.
So Aurora is seeing if they can benefit from the reversed call. As here's Wolf, top of the key three. It's good. Gabrielle Wolf. It's a good three, and Aurora back on top 5-2 as here is Jaylene Wade now. Wade very slow and methodical in her approach as she gets a screen from McGregor. Here's Sydney Mitchell now. Cross-court pass to Wingham. Wingham now. Bounce pass and just out of reach of Kulig.
Not a bad idea at all. Just got to be on the same page there. I like the thought for sure, though.
Yeah, CUC, a problem their offense has had is kind of just being stagnant. A lot of close plays, players standing close to each other. So I think if you're the Cougars, Dave, you like to see passes like that gets Aurora's defense moving side to side on the court.
No doubt about it. And also we're going to get Princess subbing in for the freshman Abby Kulig.
Princess Gates checks in for Kulig as she stumbles around off a screen. This ball is loose, and stepping out of bounds, stumbling, was Elliot Duyutrek. And that'll turn it over as CUC trying to find a response here. Both defenses playing some tough, stagnant D so far. Just 7 points as we're almost halfway through the first quarter.
Excuse me. It looks like the Cougars came in with the right idea coming in, just limit the total possessions, and they're doing a great job of that so far as they cut the lead more than in half right there.
And the other thing they're doing great of is getting those close shots. I think we see the Cougars get a little three-happy sometime, but both of their buckets so far tonight have been from right under the basket, so CUC really working for those good shots. As Aurora, meanwhile, finds their lead down to 1, and offensive foul called on number 13, Vargas. So CUC will start heading the other way. A lot of momentum right now for the Cougars.
Yeah, you really want to see the Cougars try and capitalize on these defensive possessions they're getting. As much as you want to say that they're going to be able to keep this defense this strong all night, you got to assume eventually the Spartans are going to start hitting a couple shots here and there.
Sydney Mitchell in the corner, starts her approach, hits McGregor, who feeds it to Wade. Wade, three, but offensive foul called on Allie McGregor. So that'll negate any shot from Wade. And the Spartans, they'll get a sub in, checking in for Delaney Costner, will be number 10, Sam Barrett, the senior out of Orland Park. And she goes to work now on Mitchell, feeds Wolf. And starting her drive to the rim and finishing it off the glass was Macy Kosin. Lapse in defense there by CUC. Open lane to the basket, Kosin taking advantage.
The Cougars don't look too bothered by it. They come right back up the court, setting up.
Wade once again running point as she swings it to Wingham. Wingham back over to Wade now. He finds Gates in the corner. Gates, a baseline drive, stops, pops it out to Wade. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Wade puts her defender in the tumbler, but can't finish the shot. Allie McGregor saves the rebound, and play should continue as now it does. The shot clock rang, but the ball hit the rim. And meanwhile, in the confusion, the Cougars throw it away.
Seems to be a little bit of frustration down there from the Cougar bench right there.
Coach Lauren Martin unhappy with the officials as everyone just kind of stood around wondering what was happening, why the shot clock rang, even though the ball hit the rim. That should have been a shot clock reset. As Aurora moving the ball effectively here, swing it over, but there is Allie McGregor, and here's a jumper and a basket from Kosin on the baseline. And now Aurora finds their lead back up to a two-possession game.
It's a really good find right there from Fishback.
Able to draw the defender and hit the open coast-in. As here is Mitchell and Missouri Wingham over to Jaylene Wade. Wade, an open three, no good off the front of the iron. Rebound collected by Duyatrek.
Really good ball movement right there from the Cougars. They're just going to have to capitalize on that final shot right there. They're trying to break up that 2-3 zone right there. A little couple skip passes here and there. Just get the defense out of position. They just got to finish it.
Well, Jaylene Wade, I mentioned in the pregame show, making her home debut in her return to CUC, spent the beginning of the season at Lewis University, and since coming back, she's averaging almost 30 points a game, 30 minutes a game, and 12 points a game. 30 points a game would be absolutely ridiculous.
That would be quite the feat right there from a Cougar.
No, with Jaylene Wade, a D2 player earlier this season, maybe not the most surprising thing. Meanwhile, missing the three was Cougar making her first appearance in tonight's game. Malia Perry, and now a deep three off the back of the iron. Rebound, corralled by the Cougars. Missouri Wingham hits Princess Gates. Gates going hard to the rim, can't get it to fall. Ball still loose, and sliding and grabbing it is number 21, Riley Doggett, and excellent timeout there by Ryan Rebson. It'll be a 30-second timeout, which will give us a second to talk about what has been a really defense-heavy game so far. CUC struggling to hit their shots, and on the other end, they're just playing really tough defense on this Aurora squad. So let's focus on the CUC offense now, Dave. What are they seeing? What are you seeing, they're doing that? Maybe if they tweak just a little bit, they can get a couple more shots to fall here.
Yeah, I'm seeing right now they're just going against a tough, heavy zone from the Spartans. Spartans just trying to force them to shoot the ball, but they're being smart players right now. They're not forcing up any tough jump shots. They're just letting the ball come to them. Unfortunately, there's a couple shots that need to start falling, and all of a sudden you got a tie ball game again. 2 possession ball games, nothing to worry about, though, for the Cougars.
Cougars are currently shooting 18% from the field, 2 for 11. Meanwhile, they're 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. Aurora in those two categories are shooting 40 and 20% respectively. As we have a low-scoring game here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first. Here's a long two and a good one from number 35, Ava Bars.
Yeah, that's a really good shot right there. You got to assume Aurora's going to be able to hit those kind of shots. That's why they're so high up in the conference. They're going to be able to make the tough shots.
4th in the conference as the Cougars throw this one away, which means Aurora is currently sitting in the last seed in the conference that is guaranteed a home game in the first round. The top 4 seeds get a home game while the bottom 4 seeds start the tournament on the road. As a three here misses everything from Riley Doggett. Gets some air ball calls from the crowd, but Aurora able to get it right back. Here's another 3 attempt. This one no good either. Rebound still bouncing around, collected by Barrett. Another 3 from the Spartans, and a third time is the charm. And that just goes to show how important rebounding is, Dave. You give up 2 threes that luckily missed the basket for CUC. You got to be able to collect one of those missed shots.
Yeah, I agree completely, especially when you're playing at the collegiate level. When you give a great team like Aurora that many attempts on offense, they're going to be able to cash in eventually.
Malia Perry tries her hand at a 3 and no good, but Princess Gates right there with the board. Gates spin around, feeds McGregor, and she gets stuffed, eaten up by Ava Bars, the 6-foot freshman out of Vernon Hills. And now with another 3, this one in and out, as Aurora has no problem chucking up the 3 ball right now. This ball poked away. Here is Jaylene Wade. Wade puts on the Turbo Jets. Wade to the rim, and she's blocked and knocked out of bounds. Fantastic come from behind defense by number 15, Kylie Fishback.
Great hustle right there. Jaylene Wade trying to go coast to coast, and Kylie making sure that does not happen right there. As the Aurora bench gets a little excited over that. Fishback
a block from behind. But the Cougars, they had possession for a second. Here's a steal on Aurora's part.
And this is the start. This is the fear that you start to run into when you play the Aurora Spartans. And once they start getting going, it's going to be tough to keep up with them.
Cougars shot clock is off as we're at 15 seconds left in the first quarter. They are down 14-4. Here is Jaylene Wade. Wade finds Princess Gates. And now Sydney Mitchell drives to the rim. Floater no good. And Allie McGregor to beat the clock off the inside of the rim. Cougars come a couple centimeters away from getting a last-second bucket. But instead, they're going to head into the second quarter, trailing the Aurora Spartans 14-4. We're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. And when we come back, second quarter action for you between the Spartans and the Cougars.
Cougar Nation, we love the support you give us on and off the court. To donate to our athletic communications department, hit the thank button.
This helps us to continue to have the best live stream possible for some great Cougar basketball moments.
Thank you and enjoy the game.
Back here on the Cougar Sports and Network, CUC, they're trailing the Aurora Spartans 14-4 here in Geisman Gymnasium. Peter Borkowski, Dave Dimeling with you on the Cougar Sports Network. And Dave, you kind of alluded to it halfway through the first quarter, but Aurora, it felt like we were just waiting for them to turn that switch on and play like the good Spartans team we know they are, and that finally came in that back end of the first quarter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be really hard to hold the Spartans down. You want to limit their possessions as much as you can, hang tough. When you hang tough with them until the second half, especially getting to the fourth quarter, getting to that last frame, you're going to be able to make them a little bit more nervous, and that's when you start to see those higher seeds like the 4 seed of the NAC crumble right there.
So you see a playoff chance is all but out of reach for the squad who's really struggled over the past couple months, but not struggling right now is Malia Perry. Hits a nice step back too.
Yeah, and that'll end the drought right there. The Cougars seem to be having a tough stretch right there, but Malia slows it down for now.
As a 3 from the Spartans is no good. That was coming from bars. Cougars come the other way with it. Got it back to a single-digit deficit, 14-6, 8:45 to go here in the second quarter. Lindley Southern, she's checked into the game for CUC. Cross-court pass, 2 from Malia Perry, and Perry starting to heat up a little bit. 2 straight made shots for number 1, and CUC might have found their answer to get back in rhythm offensively, and it might be Malia Perry.
Yeah, Malia Perry letting it fly from the left side right there of the goal. Don't be surprised if you find her hitting a couple heat checks. Excuse me.
Cougars grab the ball, almost knocked out of bounds, but they're able to retain it. Missouri Wingham with the ball now, tries to run through a couple of defenders and draws a foul because of it. As the referees discuss for a brief second, still waiting on the official number on the foul. It will be number 10. That is Sam Barrett.
Yeah, they're going to get the Orland Park native right there. Good news for the Aurora Spartans. It's going to be underneath. It's not going to be shooting.
Barrett, her first personal and first team of the quarter, as Sydney Mitchell grabs the inbound pass from Perry. She finds Perry, and it's stolen away by Barrett. Barrett looking to get redemption for that foul, and she can't finish the layup. Jaylene Wade collects the miss, and CUC catching a lucky break there. Barrett 1-on-0 with the net, and Sydney Mitchell puts her in the tumbler. Mitchell, a floater, no good. And ball is out. CUC will maintain possession.
Yeah, it seems the story of the game so far. A bunch of $1 million moves, 10-cent finishes aren't going to cut it right there for the Cougars.
Neither team shooting exceptionally well, or even well to begin with. Spartans at 28.6%, Cougars at 20 from the field. As these two defenses have been very stingent, and then you see a couple missed open shots like Barrett's layup miss from a second ago, as the shot clock has reached 5 seconds. Kulig, she finds Malia Perry. Malia Perry. Cougars got to get it up. They don't. They turn it over, and coming down the court and going for the rim and missing another layup. Abby Kulig might have had a piece of it, but Aurora really struggling to put away these gimme baskets.
Yeah, very surprising right there from the Spartans to miss quite a few gimmies back-to-back like that. You'd be surprised if you see that once in a game, let alone twice on nearly back-to-back possessions.
Malia Perry tries a three. It's good. She's on fire, Malia Perry.
Oh, my goodness. Number one, letting it rain right now. She found her stroke so far in the second frame.
3 straight made shots for Malia Perry, and now a sidestep three. That's swished through by Bars. There's a heat check as Bars quiets what was a very loud Geisman for a second. Malia Perry putting on a show.
Bars hits that three right there and just takes a look back at the student section, telling her ease off her back. There's a reason the Spartans are so good this year.
17-11 is the score as Perry bounces it to Wade. Shot clock at 10 and counting. Jaylene Wade, turnaround jumper, gets it to go.
Oh, my. That's what you like to see right there from Jaylene Wade.
Spin cycle is complete. Check the laundry as the Cougars cut it back down to a 4-point lead. And a tough basket there. And we go from missed layups to turnaround jumpers, three-pointers for third straight shots, tough finishes as these teams have flipped the script in a matter of seconds.
I mean, I tell you what, Peter, you never really know what you're going to get when you come to the Geisman Arena.
As this ball is tipped and picked off by Aurora. The Spartans playing with some speed here and taking it all the way to and drawing the offensive foul. I think it is. It's defensive. It is on the Cougars. And that'll be one shot coming up for Kylie Fishback. The officials' body language a little confusing on that call as it looked like a 50-50 call. It could have gone either way. And Fishback gets the call in her favor as she'll have a chance to complete the three-point play.
Yeah, Fishback absorbing the contact right there, going up and through the powerful.
Fishback shot is good. Three-point play is complete as she gets a well-deserved rest on the bench. Checking in for her is number 25, the starter, Elliot Duyutrek.
Yeah, it appears the Spartans are going to get a fresh wave of Spartans right now.
And a wide open under the basket. Allie McGregor, she can't finish it. McGregor, nice stop to get the defender to fly by. Just cannot finish the easy layup. And CUC still down by 9. Here is Gabrielle Wolf. She finds Duyutrek. Duyutrek now. As Spartans, some good ball movement. Putting the ball on the ground is Cosner. And now a long three off the back of the iron. And Wolf grabs the rebound. And getting the easy bank was Delaney Kostner. Nice find there by Wolf. Fed her from beyond the three-point line.
Spartans with another big offensive rebound right there.
Jaylene Wade to Sydney Mitchell. Swings it to Malia Perry. She's got the high hand for the Cougars, but hasn't had a chance to use it in a couple minutes. And now getting tied up and fouled is Princess Gates. And see if it results in shots. And it will. 2 shots coming up for Princess Gates. Shooting foul by Elliot Duyutrek. That is her first personal. And Cougars trying to end a 7-0 run the Spartans have been in the last 90 seconds. They do. Princess Gates scores her 3rd point of the game, has a chance to score a 4th and make it a 9-point game. Back to single digits with the make. Shot is up and good. Successful trip to the charity stripe for Princess Gates, and CUC back within 9. And that's not going to help, but that will a missed shot from Duyutrek. Another missed one, and Jaylene Wade rips it away. CUC really benefiting from some missed Aurora shooting as Gates able to keep the ball in her hand. Gates gets it, takes a three now. Can't hit it off the back of the iron.
That is one of the tough parts with the Cougars. They're going to have to learn. They're not going to be able to outshoot the Spartans right now. They're going to have to D up, find some looks inside, and capitalize from there.
And whistle blown, foul called. It will be on Malia Perry. So Cougars, they get tagged with their, should be second team foul. Waiting for the scoreboard update. There it is. Second team foul. First personal on Malia Perry.
Cougars are also going to bring in Sydney for the veteran Jaylene Wade.
Sydney Mitchell checks in the top of the key three, no good. And getting the miss and put on the ground and gets the basket. Was Duutrek. So one shot coming up for number 25 in black, trying to complete another three-point play. Aurora had one of them already in this quarter, as CUC getting a little bit more physical in the last couple minutes. Duutrek's shot is good as a low arc, but able to sneak in, and that inbound pass thrown away. Aurora misses the first shot, but gets the second one from Kosin, and that'll cause a timeout from Coach Lauren Martin and the Cougars, who were down by 9 not too long ago. They now found themselves down by 14. A full timeout, which means we'll take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network, and we'll be back in just a second. Cougars, they're trailing the Spartans 29-15, 3:39 left to go here in the first half. Reminder to all Cougar fans out there that you can find all updates on CUC athletics at our website, cucougars.com. That includes schedules, stats, rosters, and more. Once again, all you have to do is go to cucougars.com. You can click on the sports tab to find any team on campus you want, like women's basketball. All found on our wonderful website. One more time, that is cucougars.com. As Aurora, they come out of the timeout in a full court press. CUC able to break it. Sydney Mitchell can't get it to go in and out. It was a good break by CUC. Mitchell just a little too much force on that shot, and a nice lift there, but not getting it to fall was Vargas. CUC brings it up the other way. Both teams playing with some speed. Bunny hop from Princess Gates. Missouri Wingham had an open three, passes it up, Euro steps her way to the rim.
Easy finish right there for Missouri right there.
Missouri Wingham will step this way, step that way, step right by the defense, and CUC back within 12. Handoff here to Vargas as she gets it back to Kozner. And a short jumper is easy money for Gabrielle Wolf. When you're averaging over 15 points a game, those shots from just outside the paint are nothing troubling to you.
Nifty pass right there from number 2, Delaney.
Here is Mitchell now. Mitchell bounce pass to Wingham. Wingham from the free throw line. Except this one, it counts for 2. And CUC back within 12 again. Both offenses trading blows here. Good screen by Wolf as Vargas goes to work on Abby Kulig. She hands it off instead. Ball rolls off the rim. Vargas, a tough shot under Kulig. Understandably, it does not go as here comes Gates. Gates bunny hops, tries to put it up herself. She does. The bank is open, and Coach Ryan Rebson is up in arms over his defense. Princess Gates, one-on-one, makes it work, and now a missed shot as Aurora looks like they're playing a little hasty here.
This is what the Cougars got to do right now, is try get Aurora off their feet, get them moving. There's another one right there for Zuri.
The bank is still open. Make your deposits now. And Missouri Wingham uses the glass. And CUC back within single digits. 8-point lead, but Gabrielle Wolf can't extend it. Looked like she was able to spin her way to the rim, just couldn't get the finish. As the Cougars are riding a hot wave of momentum right now. Here's Mitchell. Jump shot is no good. Looked good, but just bounces out.
Seems like the Spartans are getting an awful lot of close looks from inside the paint, but they're opting for a three right there.
That three does not go. The Spartans shooting less than 20% from beyond the arc. Granted, so are the Cougars, but not the shot you want to take when you've seen the Cougars go on a 6-0 run in just over a minute. Abby Kulig, a short shot, but draws the foul. And Kulig, the freshman, she'll have a chance at the charity stripe.
They're going to get Kulig's counterpart, 31 on that one, Gabrielle Wolf.
Kulig, 72% from the free throw line so far this year, 18 for 25. As her first shot is up and nothing but net. So CUC back within 7 now. Kulig looks to make it a 6-point game as we have just 50.2 seconds to go. That shot misses, but Princess Gates right there. Kulig finds Perry, and that pass intended for Kulig makes its way over to Mitchell. I believe that was actually meant to happen, at least if you ask Sydney Mitchell. Mitchell finds Kulig, 6 seconds on the shot clock, ball on the ground. Mitchell hits the rim, gets her miss. Mitchell back up and fouled. Fantastic individual effort from Sydney Mitchell, and because of it, she's going to have a couple free throws coming up.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you catch some of the Spartans calling a timeout here if this pace keeps going. He seems pretty frustrated right now with the way his Spartans are performing in the last 2 minutes right now.
7-0 run for CUC. It'll stay there after the first free throw is a miss from Mitchell. 0.3 seconds separate the game clock and shot clock, basically negligible, as the Spartans can hold for the last shot. Essentially, those 0.3 seconds, again, don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. This ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by Mitchell, but does a good job to at least slow the offense down. 19.8 left on the game clock, which is now 0.2 seconds ahead of the shot clock. The Cougars, they want a travel call. They won't get one. Inside pass and, hard hit there. Duyutrek going down and a jump ball called. See if it ends up being a foul too. The referees are going to have to discuss this one. The jump ball was called, but Duyutrek was hit hard and slammed on the ground.
Yeah, it looked like Mitchell did all the work right there, got the jump ball, and Kulig comes in and just gives her a blow right there.
So not sure on the foul call, but Aurora, they will get to inbound here as the referee's talking once again. Not seeing any fouls in the stat sheets. I believe it was just jump ball Aurora possession. As a inbound is tipped. Here's Vargas. Here's Kozner now. At the top of the key, a three off the front of the rim. Cougars, they have 2 seconds to make something happen. Mitchell, and she won't do anything in time. But CUC, they end the half on a high note. 8-0 run over the final 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And because of it, they are only trailing 31-25 going into halftime. But during halftime, we have a special presentation as we are honoring National Girl and Women in Sports Day. As you can probably see on your screen, many people on and off the court wearing black shirts with pink and white lettering, a white cougar as well. Spiffy looking shirts. I believe our SAC Vice President Troy Prattley helped design them, or at least get them passed, I should say. But we have a special presentation for National Girl and Women in Sports Day, and then we'll be back with second half action for you. Cougars, they trail the Spartans 31-25 heading into halftime.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network as we get set for a second half between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the Spartans of Aurora University. Cougars trailing Aurora currently 31-25. Just had all of our halftime activities for National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Always a fun day of the year to get to honor the very special day for all athletics across all levels of collegiate and professional play. But we still have a half of basketball to play between two women's teams, Dave, that are playing some pretty good basketball on the whole. I think if you kind of looked at the stat sheets coming into this game, you might not expect such a close contest between a Cougars team who's really struggled over the last couple months. They just picked up their first win on Saturday in 11 and 12 games, while Aurora currently sitting fourth place in the NAC. But the Cougars really gave Aurora a run for their money in that first half. Before we get into all of that, let's look at the stat leaders from today, as the points leader belongs to the Aurora Spartans. That is number 15, Kylie Fishback, with 8, and then several players such as Malia Perry as well as Gabrielle Wolf have 7 on the night. The rebounding leader so far also belongs to the Spartans. It is number 25, Elliot Duyatrek. She's got 6 on the Concordia side. It is who else but Allie McGregor with her 5. And the main dish man for both teams on the Cougars, Abby Kulig and Sydney Mitchell. They both have 2 assists, while on the Spartans it is Sam Barrett. She has 2 assists. Those 3 players lead the game in that category, but Dave, we saw a very different Cougars team in that final couple minutes of the first half. They went on an 8-0 run to get the lead to where it is now, and I think the main thing was just the tempo. They were playing quick. They were coming down the court quick. They were getting turnovers and immediately rushing the Aurora basket, and I think that's what largely led to them getting back in this game and making it just a 6-point game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you right there. When the Cougars are able to speed it up but still play their game, it's going to be the difference right now. It seemed like the Spartans couldn't wait for the half to end right there, as they were getting almost run out of the building towards the end.
Coach Ryan Rebson, you could tell, was a little frustrated with how his team ended at that half, and Aurora came out a good couple minutes early from the locker room to get some shots up. They know that they're in a position to get a home playoff game come NAC tournament time, which is really just around the corner for all NAC team. The Cougars, for instance, just 3 games left on the schedule. We'll get into more on that as we hit the later stages of this game, looking ahead. But Aurora looking to secure that home playoff game, and they have a tough task to do so against the Cougars, who are playing really feisty right now. Dave, 20 seconds left before the half start. Let's get your Spark Notes version of what do the Cougars need to do to make up this 6-point difference and then hopefully come away with a bit of a spoiler win over the Spartans.
Oh, yeah, we all love to see that happen. I think the Cougars really just need to play their style of basketball they were playing to close out the first half in those last 3 or 4 minutes. They started playing a little bit more, play a little looser, get the crowd into it, get their bench into it, and they just got to start hitting some of those easy shots. We don't need to make the tough shots. If you just make the routine ones, those are going to be the difference right there.
It is a pretty full house in Geisman. Again, a lot here to support National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Like I said, a lot of those pink and black shirts are filling the audience on the far side of the gym. But we have 20 minutes left of basketball. We've 20 scheduled minutes of basketball. This game not too far off from going to overtime by the looks of it, as CUC starts with the ball in the second half. Here is Missouri Wingham. Starts a baseline drive, pop, shot, no good, gets her own miss. Wingham puts it back up and good. And Dave, that's something I didn't mention about the end of that first half, which is that the rebounding was really on point for CUC. Their second chance points really ticked up towards the end of that first half.
Yeah, I totally agree. Second chance points will be the make or break for the Cougs right now. They were able to limit it towards the end of the first half for the Spartans, but the Spartans in the first quarter particularly are absolutely dominating on the offensive glass, and that really was what stung the Cougars right there.
Jump ball possession Aurora, but looking at the rebounding numbers, Cougars, it's not by a ton, but they are out-rebounding the Spartans 27-22. Has been one of the reasons they're able to get back this one, as it looks like we have a foul now Allie McGregor, if I'm reading the ref's hand signs correctly, tagged with it. And right under the basket, off the glass, Macy Kosin gets it to go.
Yeah, good team. The way I see it is good teams come in with a great plan, but great teams are the guys who are able to make the adjustments faster. And that's what you really want to see out of the Cougars. Let's see how they were able to adjust in the half.
And Abby Kulig right under the basket. Couldn't finish it, but Allie McGregor with a rebound. CUC doing a great job getting these second chance opportunities. See if they can redeem themselves off that Kulig miss. Here is Mitchell now. Baseline floater, no good, and rebound is ripped away by Selena Vargas, coming off a double-double against MSOE. As the 6-footer out of Colorado Springs, able to give her team a possession here. Good ball movement there, and going to the rim unimpeded was Elliott Duyutrek. I think all that ball movement, Dave, just kind of threw the Cougars off, created the exact lane that Duyutrek needed. As pass to Wingham, she finds Mitchell. Mitchell decides not to pull the trig on the three. As Kulig inside pass to Wingham, thought about shooting. Now Kulig a jumper, no good. Looked good from here, just a little too much on that ball. Knocked out, last touch by Aurora.
Aurora coach Rebson comes up fiery right there. He wants that ball back. He knows how much this game means for the Spartans right now as they're looking for home field advantage for that first game of the playoffs.
Well, looking at the standings, Aurora currently sitting at 4th and 9-4. One win behind them sits MSOE and Benedictine. So there are a couple teams in the hunt for that final home berth. As the Cougars trying to mess up those plans. Three from McGregor, no good. And rebound batted away by Vargas, grabbed by Delaney Kosner. As
not too often you see McGregor letting it fly right there from beyond the arc, but she lets one rip.
Aurora commits the offensive foul, but back to Dave's point, just 5 3 attempts coming into tonight. That was number 6. Currently sits at 2-6 on the season. And so like Dave said, she's not usually a shooter from beyond the arc just due to her paint presence. But an open shot is an open shot. She's not able to hit that one. As the Cougars swing it to McGregor. And here comes Mitchell now. Too hard to the rim and off the glass and in. Sydney Mitchell. Cougars have been utilizing that backboard expertly in this game, as getting tangled up and fouled was Kosner. Foul assessed to Princess Gates, and 2 shots coming up now. Sydney Mitchell with the foul, and 2 shots coming up for Kosner, who so far on the season, Kosner, a 46% free throw shooter. Low sample size, just 10 for 22. As she makes her first one.
Yeah, you can't be too mad about the aggressive side from Sydney Mitchell right there, especially forcing a 46% shooter to earn it at the stripe.
Well, she does earn it. 2 free throws, 2 makes for Kosner. As Aurora now double teams Wade. She gets the ball back after it's batted away. Bounces it to Mitchell. Mitchell now bounce pass Gates. Shot good. Excellent ball movement there from the Cougars. That is how you beat a double team.
Yeah, it looked like Jaylene Wade at first might have been a little in trouble right there, but she shows her veteran side right there and gets out away from it. Excuse me.
It is simple math. When you got 2 people covering you, that means somebody is open. Jaylene Wade able to find Mitchell, drew a defensive slide, and then she found another player for the basket, that one being Princess Gates, as Jaylene Wade back with the ball now. Puts it on the ground, finds Mitchell, who swings it all the way over to Wingham. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Wingham underneath the basket, doesn't get it, gets the miss though. Princess Gates thought about a long 2, instead feeds Wade. Fresh shot clock for the Cougars as Wade, she gets tied up, gets the ball before it goes out of bounds. Now she's in trouble. Allie McGregor will give and go back to Jaylene Wade. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Jaylene Wade, jumper is good. It is liquid for Jaylene Wade. So smooth. As now Missouri Wingham with the defensive back play, but she passes it behind Sydney Mitchell. It goes out. What looked like a very good turn of events for the Cougars turns into a turnover.
Yeah, the Cougars, you love to see the aggressiveness. The only thing you hate to see is when they start getting a little discombobulated overall.
There's a fine line between playing aggressive and fast and playing too aggressive and fast, and the Cougars just tiptoed over that line as Aurora able to get the ball back after turning it over. Here is Wolf. Wolf muscling her way to the basket. No good. Falling shot. No foul either.
And they're off to the races right there.
As here is Sydney Mitchell. A little stop and go. McGregor ends up with it and is fouled. Sydney Mitchell almost lost it. McGregor was there, thankfully, to clean up the mess. And she gets a couple free throws because of it. McGregor's first free throws of the night coming up. As her first one is no good, too strong. McGregor so far on the year a 54% shooter. As she can't hit either of them on that trip. Here is Duyutrek to the rim. She draws a foul from McGregor. And now Duyutrek has a chance on the other side of the court for a couple freebies.
We've learned anything so far. They're not always free, though. The Cougars missed 2 on the other end right there.
Cougars, they're shooting free throws at 50%. Aurora, on the other hand, they're at 100, 4 for 4 so far. As Duyutrek, she has one of those 4. Trying to make it a couple more. First shot is good. Duyutrek, 84% free throw shooter coming into the match. Second shot is also good. And Aurora jumps their lead back up to 6.
There's that Aurora press right there as they get a quick turnover.
And CUC got the ball back. Whistles blow, however.
It appears Wolf tried to force one right there, but they're going to get a kick ball violation.
So inbound coming up for Aurora it is. And for the official call on it in the stat sheet, whatever it is, Aurora, they have a chance to add on to their lead here as it's back up to 6 point. Cougars made it 4 for a second. And thinking about a 3 and instead passing it was Kosin. And now there's a 3 from Duyutrek, in and out. Almost went. That would have been a huge 3 momentum-wise. The Cougars, they have a chance to get a little closer. Jaylene Wade trying to go coast to coast. She gets stuffed. I believe Vargas was the primary perpetrator on that block, as here's an open corner 3. It's good. You cannot leave Kylie Fishback that open. And because of it, Coach Martin going to use her first timeout of the half. As CUC is down here 42-33. And Dave, I think the discrepancy in the three-point shooting, or the three-point attempts, I should say, has been huge this game. Aurora 4 for 22. CUC 1 for 7. And this is a CUC team who usually likes to huck up the 3, but Aurora comes in here, and clearly their game plan is to try and put as many up on the board as they can. And for the most part, CUC's done a good job of preventing that. Just 18% three-point percentage for the Aurora Spartans. But, you know, at some point, just due to the pure volume of threes that they're shooting, some of them are going to hit, especially when you have open looks like that one from Fishback.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the bench knew that one was good right away.
And ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars as Aurora trying to take over a little bit here. Again, they saw their lead shrink down to 4, and it seems they've really tightened up their game.
Yeah, this is where the Cougars might be getting a little bit nervous right here, is when that full court presses. It appears they've had some trouble with it this season.
Here's another three and another make, this time from Macy Kosin. And like I said, you take so many threes, even if just a small percentage of them hit, that's a big difference in the game. And it is now 45 to 33, excuse me. The big scoreboard is wrong, and a floater from Sydney Mitchell is no good. Missouri Wingham able to get some pause on it. See what the call is. Haven't seen a jump ball sign yet. And it'll be a foul on Selena Vargas. As Coach Rebson not happy with the call. I think like everyone else, thought it was going to be a jump ball. Instead, it ends up being a foul on his 6-foot senior as the Cougars, they inbound it. Malia Perry using the screen from Kulig, swings it over. Jaylene Wade catches it in between her legs. Her defender is Barrett. And Malia Perry, wide open three. Why not? Malia Perry. She's ice cold from beyond the arc tonight. And almost everything from distance. She's a big reason CUC's been able to stay in this one.
I mean, Malia Perry, she's letting them fly, and she's hitting a lot of these shots right here. You got to assume the Cougars might be trying to feed the hot hand down the stretch. They're going to have a little over 13 minutes of play to get back into this.
Perry, 10 points on the night in 12 minutes, 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. She's been excellent sharpshooting, and now a foul on Mitchell. It'll be Mitchell's second personal, and 2 free throws are coming up here for Fishback.
Yeah, Cougar defense, the help defense, a little late there as number 15 is quick.
Fishback, 1 for 1 so far on the night. Able to complete an and one play earlier as her first shot is good. And that'll make it a 45 to 36 game. So it believes the big board was correct from earlier. When I said it was 45, it was actually 44. Now it's 46 to 36. Back to a double-digit lead for the Spartans. Perry finds Mitchell. Sydney Mitchell dribbling through a triple team, able to pick it up. Kulig over to Jaylene Wade. Wade now surveying her options. Jaylene Wade kicks it out. Here is Malia Perry. Perry, it's blocked. Selena Vargas sends it out of bounds. As Aurora getting a couple subs in. Number 0, Cameron Bullock, as well as number 5, Ava Barr is checked back in for the Spartans. And the Cougars, they have 8 seconds to make something happen on this shot clock. Here is Lindley Southern, the freshman, over to Malia Perry, over to Wade. 5 seconds left. As here is Sydney Mitchell for a 3. No good. Hits the rim, though, but it won't matter as coming down with the rebound was Fishback. Fishback pushing tempo a little here. Now she kicks it out. Here's Bars. Bars puts a spin move as she kicks it out for a 3 from Riley Doggett. It's no good. Cougars, they head the other way. Down we go again. Jaylene Wade stopping and going. Kicks it over to Mitchell. Mitchell now. Inside pass to Kulig. Touches nobody. Goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a tough pass right there. That's going to be a tough entry pass for sure, especially with the Spartan help defense swarming in.
Abby Kulig completely covered on it. Just could not get enough airtime to bring it down. And because of it, the Spartans have the ball. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They're on top of the Cougars, 46. A long 3. Whistles blow first, however. Foul on Kulig. Push on Barrett, I believe it was. As the Cougars now at 14 fouls in the quarter. 1 more. They put Aurora in the bonus. Barrett finds Fishback. Fishback up against Wade, turns around, passes it out. Doggett gets it back to Fishback. Fishback weaves through the defense. Doggett in the other corner. It's good. Beautiful ball movement there. And because of it, Aurora up to a 13-point lead now.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I believe Coach Martin just tagged with a foul, as she is currently unhappy with the referees. And so it is a technical on Coach Martin of the Cougars, and that'll send Fishback to the free throw line. And she's still sharing words with multiple of the referees for the night: Shantae Glenn, Duran Stewart, and Chad Barger, as Fishback's first technical shot is good.
Yeah, emotions are only natural when you're getting a little frustrated, facing a double-digit deficit.
And I think the other thing that kind of adds on to that, Dave, is this is a game the Cougars knew they were in. They were down by just 4 points earlier in this quarter alone, and really since that point, a 2-minute and 7-second scoring drought, 5 turnovers in the last 4.5 minutes. This is a team who, after getting within striking distance of the Spartans, now finds themselves back in a 13-point hole. In the corner, Fishback three, it's good. Kylie Fishback having herself a heck of a night. She's up to 17 points, 5 for 7 from the field, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, the Spartans senior Fishback, she really drew the crowd back in for this one.
As ball is knocked away, and with nobody in front of her, it is Barrett. She collects.
Speaking of seniors, just another turnover and turns into a bucket at the other end.
Sam Barrett, the 5'1 senior from Orland Park, despite that lack in height, she's been all over the court because of her speed as she gets hung up on a screen. Cougars are trying to stop the bleeding here. Southern, that inside pass is knocked away, but a foul called on the Spartans. Spartans 10-0 run over the last 2-16, 17-3 run over the last 4-17. 3 for their last 3, 5 for their last 7. This is a Spartans team who, after having some trouble with the feisty Cougar squad, is hitting their stride at the right time.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say that the Spartans are one of those great teams that are able to make adjustments.
Even in quarter adjustments, as coming out of half, it still looked like a very even game. Spartans have really taken over, however, as of late. Here is Wade. A long 2 is no good. I think her foot was on the line as Fishback comes rushing down the court. Ball movement from the Spartans. Fishback, it gets knocked around. Foul called. It'll be assessed to Missouri Wingham. That's the other negative of committing a technical foul. If you're the coaches, the officials might be a little bit more willing to call fouls against your team because of it. Not saying that wasn't a foul, but officials might be a little quicker to pull the trig, as the first free throw from Fishback is good. Aurora in the bonus. 5 team fouls for the Cougars, 4 for the Spartans, as Fishback continues an impressive night. 2 for 2 from that trip, as this lead is officially up to 20 now. Spartans taking over this game. Here is Gates up to Malia Perry. Perry with 2 seconds, and she turns it over. Last second heave from the Spartans is way off, but really no damage done on that missed shot, as the Spartans a 19-3 run in the last half of the third, and because they take a 56-36 lead into the final 10 minutes of regulation. Cougars, they got some work to do if they want to get back in this one. See if they can do it when we're back in just a second on the Cougar Sports Network. back here on the Cougar Sports Network as we get set for the final 10 minutes in regulation between your Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the Aurora Spartans. Cougars trailing the away team 56-36 so far, as the Spartans really coming alive in the back half of that third quarter.
Yeah, obviously you've seen crazier deficits get overcome, but this might be a tough one for the Cougars.
Well, it all starts in the opening minute as a shot from Jaylene Wade is a good sign of things to come. Cuts the lead down to 18. Now we'll see if the Cougars can respond on defense. And almost get a steal there. Instead, a foul is called on Malia Perry. A little too aggressive in the steal attempt.
Yeah, it appears you've been seeing that a lot lately out of the Cougars today. Whole lot of aggressiveness and a little bit wild, but you like that a lot more than just being a little laid back and allowing easier buckets.
And putting the ball on the ground and stepping her way to the rim and drawing a foul is Riley Doggett. Nice pump fake on the pass, got her that open lane as she now heads to the free throw line. Well, update from the other Concordia Aurora game going on right now. The men's basketball teams of these two schools taking on each other at Aurora, and it is all Spartans in that one as well, leading the Cougars 80-61 with 9:19 left to go in regulation. As CUC men's team pushing for one of the last couple playoff seeds. Just like their women counterpart, they're going to need a big comeback in the last 9 or so minutes of the game, as Missouri Wingham is eaten up by the double team. However, ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Bullock, as CUC will maintain possession here. Jaylene Wade now. Wade hands it off. Malia Perry thought about a three, instead puts it on the ground. Behind the back dribble, trying to mess with her defender. She gets no open space. Good defense there from the 5'10 Bullock. 3 seconds. Wade, a three, airballs it, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of times the Cougars' offensive possessions end with them having to force up a tough shot with the shot clock winding down.
The Cougars have been using a lot of shot clock tonight. Many of their possessions are going into the final couple seconds, but like they've said, they usually are not resulting in good shots because of it. As they're going to have to change that quickly here. 8.5 minutes to go, down by 20. Inside pass to Fishback. Fishback lifts it, no good. Ball bobbled around, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by number 21, Doggett. As the Cougars, if they want to get something going, it most likely has to start now. Here is Mitchell using a screen from Gates. Mitchell over to Wingham, and Wingham is fouled on it. Foul on Riley Doggett. Doggett, that'll be her first personal, as Aurora has played a really clean game so far. Hasn't put the Cougars in the bonus yet. As Missouri Wingham, bounce pass, another bounce pass. Great ball movement there for CUC. A little tic-tac-toe, and the Cougars cut it down to an 18-point lead, but they got to get a stop defensively. Aurora's offense is really clicking right now, mostly because of that girl right there. Fishback kicks it all the way over to Barrett, and top of the arc three is no good. Rebound by Perry. CUC has a chance to string a couple baskets here.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It looks like Fishback's in on all these plays right now for the Aurora.
He has 19 points because of it in just 15 minutes of play, as Mitchell, a tough shot, won't get it to go.
There they go, flying up the court again. Oh, my.
And a hard foul from Missouri Wingham. A late one, too. I don't think she even really had a chance at stopping that shot. And because of it, Riley Doggett has a chance for a three-point play here. Trying to make this a 21-point lead.
Yeah, it looked like Missouri jumped up, and she was trying to put a hurting on that ball right there.
This is currently tied for Aurora's largest lead at 20. See if they can extend it. They cannot. Lindley Southern with the board. CUC moving the other way. Here is Sydney Mitchell. Mitchell to McGregor to Wingham. Wingham puts the ball on the ground, and Wingham slicing through the defense. Won't get the basket, but does draw the foul. Great charge there from Missouri Wingham, and she will draw the no-no from number 35, Ava Bars, as Wingham gets set for a couple freebies from the charity stripe, her first trip of the day. First one is good for Wingham. Wingham so far on the season coming into tonight, 71% from the free throw line, as this trip will end with 2 for 2.
You start to hear the Geisman Arena get a little bit more fired up with 7 minutes to go.
Cougars, they know they got to get some energy here if they want any chance at a comeback. As here is Bollock. Bollock over to Barrett. And just punishing her way inside is Wolf. Foul is on the floor. Shot missed, so it doesn't matter. But that means no free throws coming up for Wolf, I believe. Yep, no free throws, so inbound coming up for CUC, as I think Wolf just realized she won't be taking any free throws. Barrett will inbound. Pass over Duyutrek. Hard drive, finds Barrett in the corner, and good. Took a couple swirls, but finally sinks. And Aurora, 21-point lead, their largest of the night now, with under 6.5 minutes to go in regulation.
Yeah, it seems like Aurora on offense, it seems like they always got somebody open, and somehow they find them most of the time.
Those corner threes particularly have been on point tonight. As here is Southern. Southern, a jumper, no good, but Allie McGregor right there with the board. Kicks it out. Princess Gates over to Sydney Mitchell. Mitchell to Wingham. Wingham now to the rim. What a move! Missouri Wingham, gets it to go, and CUC back within 20, a 19-point deficit.
Yeah, a couple tough finishes there for Missouri. She's starting to make them look pretty routine somehow.
Wingham becoming an expert at those drives through the defense, as now her team's got to play some defense. And that go-ahead pass to Wolf just a little too far, as you can see her coaching staff, the coaching staff of Aurora, telling their players make sure they lob those one up rather than bullet pass it ahead. As here is Mitchell now. Mitchell matched up against Barrett. Screen from McGregor as Mitchell, a tough hook shot. Can't get it to go. Players falling for the rebound. Ball is loose, but whistle blows first. And I believe, yes, Coach Lauren Martin. Great usage of the timeout. And it will be a full one. So CUC, they'll have possession of it when we come back from timeout. Cougars, they're down 63-44. 5:12 left to go in regulation. We'll be back in just a second on the Cougars Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Peter Volkowski, Dave Dimeling with you. Cougars, they're trailing the Spartans 63-44. 5:12 left to go here in regulation as the Cougars currently have possession. Missouri Wingham, what's up, a floater, no good. Rebound bobbled around and saved by Princess Gates. Great effort there by number 2 in white. Sydney Mitchell now settles things down for the Cougars as she uses the McGregor screen, feeds it to Wingham. Wingham now starts her drive to the rim and will draw a foul on the floor. Third team foul coming up for Aurora. So CUC will get possession here. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Sam Barrett tagged with the flag as that ball is no good. Rebound by Wolf. Gabrielle Wolf. 7 points on the night, a relatively quiet one from the team's leading scorer. And just as I say that, she hits a long three to hit the double-digit mark.
Oh, my goodness. Grabs the rebound, takes it all the way herself, says, I'll take care of business on this one.
Must have heard the slander of her performance up here in the booth. Said, I'll show y'all. It's a tough three, and now a foul committed by CUC at the other end. Sydney Mitchell. She is tagged with her third. She's got to be careful now as CUC down by 22, largest deficit of the night for the Cougs. Vargas covered closely by McGregor. She finds an open Barrett, who gives it back to Vargas. Vargas up to Duyatrek. Spartans able to break the press as the pass in the paint. Vargas kicks it back out. Barrett, long three is good. Aurora really heating up on the three-point percentage. They're up to 25%. As, like I mentioned earlier, Dave, when you take so many threes, you're eventually going to find your stroke. And Aurora, they're shooting lights out from beyond the arc right now.
Yeah, 25% might not sound too impressive, but when you start out 4 for 22, that's a heck of a comeback.
Since then, 6 for 7. Excuse me, 4 for 7, I should say. As here comes Duyatrek, and she draws the foul. Foul on Jaylene Wade, so 2 shots coming up for Duyatrek. Duyatrek, 7 points on the night, 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
It just seems like the Aurora Spartans just are not running out of gas. 37 minutes into the game, and they're still flying.
And that's part of the benefit of having such a deep bench. This is a large Aurora team compared to a CUC team who's been really struggling on the injury front. They've been down 3 of their primary starters in Michaela Ellis, Kalia Reed, and Leela Scott for quite a while now. As here is Jaylene Wade. Wade over to Southern. Pump fake on the pass. Same from Wade as Sydney Mitchell swings it out. Malia Perry with under 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Sydney Mitchell, oh my goodness, nice sidestep. She gets some cheers from the audience for that spectacular move. And another corner three, no good. A rare miss as of late from the Spartans. And Mitchell rips it away. Lindley Southern cleans it up. Southern, a hard dribble up with pressure right in her face. Perry, a corner three herself. That one no good. Rebound there by Vargas.
Looks like the Spartans might be bringing in a fresh wave to close out this frame.
And a good three there from Kosin as Aurora continues their barrage from beyond the arc. A big separator in this game already. 9 made threes, to CUC's 13 total attempts. And there's a turnover off the Jaylene Wade pass. Taking it all the way herself is Kosin, but they're going to say a timeout. Excuse me. It looked like you're signaling travel. What it is, it's a timeout by Coach Rebson and he's calling it and then essentially skipping the timeout. He's just calling it to get a break and play. And as Dave alluded to a couple seconds ago, get a fresh new wave of players in. As here is Kayla Jackson. First time we've called her name tonight. Can't get that tough basket. Fishback with the rebound. Fishback out racing every CUC defender, but it's poked away by Mitchell. Fishback open three, no good. Clunked off the front of the rim and picked up by Kayla Jackson, and she almost overthrows Sydney Mitchell. Mitchell able to reel it in, though, as Mitchell dribbles through the defense, draws a foul because of it. Foul will be on number 1, Danny Antoine. First time she's appeared in tonight's game. Also on the court for the Spartans, number 0, Cameron Bullock. Number 21, Riley Doggart. Number 35, Ava Bars. And Kylie Fishback, number 15, the star of the night, her 19 points, as she's a good shot away from hitting the 20 mark. Malia Perry, that sidestep got her nowhere, as here come the Spartans now. Swung over to Bars. Bars gets Perry in the air before hitting Bullock in the corner. Bars, a long three herself, no good. And rebound collected and put back by Danny Antoine. And now a timeout from Coach Martin as she skips the timeout portion to get in 2 new faces. Janie Turnez as well as number 12, Alexis Desjardins. As this game is basically all said and done. Cougars down by 32 points now with less than a minute to go. Here's Janie Turnez up top to Jackson. Desjardins catch and shoot three off the front of the rim. Rebound collected by Doggett as Fishback trying to hit that 20-point mark. Sidesteps the defense, can't get it to go. Rebound is collected by Mitchell. A second separates the shot clock and game clock. Emily Balaban a three, no good. Too strong on it. As back and forth we go. Aurora can hold if they want, and that looks like what they're going to do. Cameron Bullock will just dribble this one out as a shot clock is off. 10 seconds to go. And Aurora will be walking out of here with another win on the season, and it is official now. The buzzer rings, and the Cougars, they drop this one 78-46 to the Aurora Spartans. CUC, they fall to 6-16 on the year, 3-10 in conference play, while Aurora improves to 17-6 overall, 10-4, pardon me, in conference play. As let's look at some of the stat leaders from this game. The point leader easily belongs to Kylie Fishback on Aurora, 19 points, a great game from her. Also tagged 3 rebounds and assists on. For the Cougars, the leading scorer was Missouri Wingham in the end, 12 points and also 8 rebounds, not too far off from a double-double. In the rebounding department, it was Vargas with 11 for Aurora, and for the Cougars, Allie McGregor, she finished with 40. And in the assist department, Sydney Mitchell for CUC had 3, and tying her on the Aurora side of things was Sam Barrett, as well as Elliot Duyatrak. But Dave, a tough loss for CUC. They were in this one for a large portion of it. They were trailing by just 4 in that third quarter, and the Spartans, an impressive couple of runs to take this one 46, pardon me. Let's get your final thoughts on this game for the Cougars.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seemed like the Cougars just started to run out of gas in that third quarter. Unfortunately, the Spartans just were able to hang tough and show you why they're one of the best in the conference. They got a great record to prove it, and they're probably going to do great things in the postseason as well.
Well, that concludes today's game. The Cougars will be back in action this Saturday when they travel to Rockford University Tip-off for that game is set for 1 p.m. But for us in Geisman, I want to say thanks to everybody making this game possible. Down at the scorers table, we had Wyatt McLaughlin, our cameraman for the night, Eric Perry, as well as Tyler Dorsch. Our photographer, I should say, is Sebastian Miller. Our producers were Jessica Gang and Ashley Schroll. We're under the direction of Sydney Palaskis-Laher and our sports information director, Cale McLeod. Dave Dimeling joining me last second on the call. Fun time as always. But one more time, Cougars, they dropped this one to Aurora, 78-46, back in action this Saturday when they take on Rockford University at 1 p.m. at Rockford. Coverage for that game can be found at our website, cucougars.com. But until next time, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.